are an undercover in my ceremonies where people are so vulnerable. This period of time, I started to learn more about how the world works. So I've had a financial background and then I saw the money system. Here I got more insight about the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry is not always happy with the amazing healing power of nature. I had an undercover agent in my ceremonies. And an ayahuasca ceremony is the most vulnerable setting that you can be. And we will make a television program about ayahuasca that is all a hoax. Every god creation has DMT inside of the living things, and also every god creation has the power to heal themselves. It's amazing if this comes back to our reality and if this comes back to the new society, the healing power that we have with our heart, with our mind, with our soul. And when the new person came in, it was the undercover, everyone welcomed this person so warmly, and he was wearing glasses with the camera inside. Everyone was so enthusiastic, so he could not prove to be let it be a hoax. He couldn't have the material that he was looking for. And then the moment came that we stepped into the ceremony. I said, hey, you better make up your mind. Okay, fine. Grab your stuff, go. I said, what's for your heart? We always do an intake. How can you have heart problems? Like, you could never even join the ceremony.
Welcome to the House of Oneness podcast, where we dig deep into the world of plant medicine to help you in your spiritual and personal growth. Our host of this podcast has traveled the world to learn from different shamans, maestros, and other spiritual leaders. She has many years of experience with plant medicine ceremonies. Here is your host, Maria Joanna.
In this period of time, I started to learn more about how the world works. So I've had a financial background and then I saw the money system. Here I got more insight about the pharmaceutical industry. And in most countries, ayahuasca is or illegal or gray area. It's not accepted. Also, one thing is like it's very old knowledge. And the other thing that I learned from a very close experience is that the pharmaceutical industry is not always happy with the amazing healing power of nature. Because with ayahuasca, even when you think maybe it's easy to have a business model around it, you cannot really get this business model around it because it's every detail matters. It's always from love, from care. It is asking so much, and you can only do this certain amount of ceremonies. You cannot do this every day. But this is sometimes how it looks like maybe for others. But this pharmaceutical world, it's also a threat for them because so many times, and I cannot, I have to put a disclaimer here, but I experienced so many times that people who were in a depression, people who didn't want to live anymore, they did one ayahuasca ceremony, or I would always recommend to do at least 2 in a row or 3 in a row if you are in this really horrible place. Just an ayahuasca retreat can take you off your medications. Of course, when you're in medications, you cannot join an ayahuasca ceremony. You have to kick off. You have to do this under a professional guidance. I'm not a professional in the pharmaceutical industry, so you have to ask your doctor. You have to ask your, whoever is helping you with these medications, and then, take less until you're free of medications, at least 2 weeks, and then you can enter the ayahuasca ceremonies. And for most cases, they don't go back to the medications. I will not say they live happily ever after, because life always has the duality and nothing is forever. But yes, ayahuasca can be and is actually a big threat for the pharmaceutical industry because it can heal so many things in magical ways, and it can also show you the truth. You become more a truth seeker after those plant medicine ceremonies because you are more in your heart, your intuition becomes stronger, so you become more curious, and you start to investigate reality. And one of the rabbit holes, the red pills, you can call it, like, to discover the truth, is the pharmaceutical world. And what I experienced when I was working in this beautiful location in Amsterdam, this penthouse, was that I had an undercover agent in my ceremonies. And an ayahuasca ceremony is the most vulnerable setting that you can be. So you're so fragile, vulnerable, and maybe an ayahuasca ceremony is even more intimate than having sex with someone, because there you can even play a role or put on a mask. Here, you open up yourself, your soul, and you don't even know before stepping in what you will open up. And how it went is, because the thing is about this story, this program, it was an agent from, like, it was actually a television program, a presenter of this um, television program. This was sponsored by the pharmaceutical industry, but you don't see this directly. So you see a television program, then you see an organization, and then that organization is sponsored by the pharmaceutical industry. So you have to do some research to find out it's actually sponsored by the pharmaceutical industry. But I have a lot of smart friends around me. I have a lot of lawyers around me. And this is how we found out, like, aha, this is how it works. I don't know the English words, but it is, there's one organization in these lines that goes to the pharmaceutical industry, and they call it as if they are hunting on witches. And they saw ayahuasca as they are witches and it's fake. So we have to prove this, and we will make a television program about ayahuasca that is all a hoax. Some people, even when there is so many stories what ayahuasca can do, and it can turn your world around, some people think still that it's a placebo effect. And then still, what is a placebo? Because it would still be magical, but no, it's a chemical process of the mayo inhibitor, the DMT. The DMT is already in your body. The mayo inhibitor gives a break to the enzymes in your stomach that are normally breaking off the DMT that is in your body. Otherwise, you would trip the whole day. But if you only would take the mayo inhibitor, and by the way, that is the ayahuasca that contains the spirit of Mother Ayahuasca, you will already have a tripping experience because it blocks these enzymes in your stomach. You have the DMT already in your body. Every God creation has DMT inside of, the living things. And also every God creation has the power to heal themselves, to heal itself. If you break a leaf, a new leaf will grow. If you have a wound, it will heal itself. Your body has this possibility. And we have so much more healing power that we know of. We forgot this. That's a side note. And the world, how it is right now, we learn to be depending on others, things from outside, like the government, the bank, the system, the schools, the teachers, the people who studied for the things, and also the pharmaceutical world and the doctors. We trust blindly when they have a white jacket, like uniform, then we think they know the truth. But actually all the answers are inside of you, and you have this healing power. And this is what I feel like, it's amazing if this comes back to our reality, and if this comes back to the new society, the healing power that we have with our heart, with our mind, with our soul. Okay, how this happened, this day that the undercover agent or presenter of this super cool television program was in my ceremony. We had a 2-day ceremonies, and actually I always recommend people to do 2 ayahuasca ceremonies, especially when it's your first time. And we had 2 days in a row, and we had 1 spot extra for the second day for this new person. And this first ceremony was a huge success, as always. So the people were connected, were loving, were respectful, were in their heart, were grateful. And when the new person came in, it was the undercover, everyone welcomed this person so warmly. And he was wearing a glasses with the camera inside. Of course, you never expect that someone would be an undercover presenter in your ayahuasca ceremonies. So everyone was talking with him, or I can better say he wanted to speak with everyone to record the undercover video. And everyone was so enthusiastic, so he could not prove to be let it be a hoax. Of course they told him proof that ayahuasca is a hoax, but it was like everyone was like, wow, amazing, beautiful, sharing his experience. So he couldn't have the material that he was looking for. And he was very nervous because I think he started to realize, shit, the television program sent me here, but the people are so super nice and kind and enthusiastic. It's hard to lie towards these people. I think he had this empathy for us. But yeah, he had to go on with his filming. And then the moment came that we stepped into the ceremony, we opened the ceremony, and everyone was given their medicine, and one by one, and then it was his turn, and he took the medicine, but he didn't drink. He said, I'm waiting for a while, like I'm gonna do it in a moment, so he could film everything, of course. And then he started hesitating, and because with plant medicine ceremonies, you become so connected, you become like family. So everyone was going towards him like, hey, I also was afraid, but you know what? It's amazing and it will help you and this and that. So it took a while, and then I also got like, okay, but I, as a ceremony leader, I need to work now. I'm gonna work with energy. I cannot have one person stepping into later. It has to be like equal, otherwise I cannot do my work. So I got also a bit annoyed because I thought, okay, make up your mind, yes or no, not hesitating all the time. But he was recording, of course, everything. So at a certain point, because it asked so much attention, and that's annoying, that's also when you're working with energy, it's annoying. So I just went outside the ceremony room with him. I said, hey, you better make up your mind. I was a bit strict, and he's also telling this because in the end it has been on television, but not as you think it was. So I said, make up your mind. Like, what is it? Yes or no? And then he said, no, I'm not gonna do it. I said, okay, fine. Grab your stuff, go. And right before he left, I suddenly saw things underneath his shirt. I thought, what is this? He said, yeah, no, it's for my heart. I said, what's for your heart? We always do an intake. How can you have heart problems? Like, you could never even join the ceremony. And he started to be very nervous. And I thought, oh, maybe this is very private to him. So just go and I will do my work. Then a week later, he called me and he said he was the undercover. And I thought, what the? You are an undercover in my ceremonies where people are so vulnerable. So that was also my first response, like, how can you do this? He called me a few times, and that of course he also wanted to record it, but I understood that he wanted to record that. It was a whole thing with working with a lawyer. I thought, you cannot send this, you cannot put this on television, like this is too private. So that's why I had a lawyer, and not only that, it was also for my team. Like, I felt it was not only that, I felt it hit me so deeply, like my trust broke. So here there was revealed to me, okay, one thing is like media, trusting, like you cannot trust media. I also saw this before, and it's a pity. It's a pity that the media is in the hands of certain groups of people. It's all funded by other people. Like, I started to see more of the reality, like how this really works. And in the end, yeah, I had pain one for not being able to have the certainty of like a safe space, and that people can be so rude of even filming this private setting and lie. It was also, it did a lot to my team and me, like yeah, it brought suffering for everyone, and also some team members, they just wanted to quit guiding ceremonies, and I thought, yeah, this is a one time thing, it will not happen again. But yeah, of course I had to accept their decision. And with a lawyer it was quite stressful. We were also with other ceremony leaders, they were also in their ceremony, so we were talking together. It also was bonding us to share this pain, to share his vision, to share how this was hurting the world of ayahuasca, and to also discover together who is behind this and who's funding this. And that it was even more clear that the power of ayahuasca and also other plant medicine is too big. It's yeah, and again, it's not a business model like in the pharmaceutical industries. Many times you take a medication, then this medication gives you another threat, so you need more medications, and at the end, your whole life you're taking these pills, and they can earn money on this. With ayahuasca, you feel the calling, you step into the ceremony, and yes, of course, this costs money, but comparing to the pharmaceutical industry, it's so different and it's so valuable. It's worth your money to change yeah, yourself from within on a deeper level, and also you change from the core. So I don't know if if I share this medicine in another video or here, like in my podcast, but see it like this. This is from an old participant. She says, when you have the pharmaceutical industry, or when you have pain, like you have pain somewhere in your life, and ayahuasca is different from other healing methods because you can do therapy, or even it's physical, you can take medications, but that's just as if you have the fire of the pain, the fireman comes, water is needed to let the fire shrink, but even when the fire is done, there is some fire from deep within. It's like just like active. It's not completely healed. The fire is not immediately done because here there's still hot. It's not removed. So that is what other healing methods do. They make it seem to be disappear, but under this blister or under the blanket, it's not completely healed. The essence, yeah, it doesn't come to the essence. Like for example with painkillers or antidepressants or therapy, it doesn't go to the essence. A conversation, still too much mind. And here with the ayahuasca, with other plant medicines, also with the Choco Bliss, because the Choco Bliss contains the spirit of Mother Ayahuasca, you go to the essence, and from the essence you will heal. And that's a difference. That's a difference. And yeah, I think that's why it's so powerful. It's transforming from the day after your ceremony. You will feel like a new person. You will feel that you react different, you respond different, and you remember the old patterns, but now a new pattern is there. It's installed in your system, and you're ready to go to implement the new program that the plant medicine has been given to you. But yeah, closing this story, it was hard to see this truth, to look into this rabbit hole, and yeah, it hurt me, but on the other way, it made me more wise, stronger, and more ready for the future. And yeah, walking the path of plant medicine, it will always have challenges. I know other pathways too, but I believe in that is truth from within, that is with love, with respect, with, yeah, I believe in that is guided from your heart, that feels authentic, and that is really effective. And that's why I love the plant medicine world so much. And as I shared before, it just belongs to me in my life, and it's an honor to share. Let me tell you a bit about why would you do the microdosing. Talking about healing depression with microdosing, this is something I learned in the jungle from Brazil. There I learned that when there were people in the jungle or in Brazil and they had a huge depression, they said we give 1 teaspoon of ayahuasca every day. And then there's also a group who wants to have more focus, concentration, creativity, is that they want to go out of their head, being more into their hearts. One of the main physical reasons why people do this, and that's especially for women, is if they are in the menopause. There I learned when you take the plant medicine in a small doses over a period of time, you have a gradual healing. And step by step, you will get insights, you open the portal to your heart more, you go out of your head, and you become more of who you are. Microdosing is something to experience for yourself.
Thanks for listening. Check out our website, houseofoneness.com, for more information about plant medicine, microdosing, and ceremonies. Or find Maria Joanna at Instagram. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, keep following that inner voice.